Here we are, Election Day 2008, the end of what has been an historic campaign, and one that I think will end tonight with an historic outcome. My prediction is 53-46 for Barack over John McCain, 353 electoral college votes. Let's see how we do. But beyond the numbers, there's some big stuff going on in American politics, and what we've been arguing is that there's a new politics being born, that the politics of the 21st century is very different than the politics of the century just passed. We think there are really four things driving that. First is that we're seeing the emergence of a new governing agenda. The challenges we face in 21st century America are very different than the challenges we face in the 20th century. You can make your own list. The way that globalization is making it harder for everyday people to get ahead, how we have to deal with climate change, the rise of countries like India, China, Brazil, Indonesia. This is a very different landscape that the next president is going to be facing than any president who's come before. Second is the way that media and technology is fundamentally changing the way we communicate and advocate. So much has been written by us and by others of how the Obama campaign has been the first great campaign of the 21st century, this people-led, bottom-up, distributed, post-broadcast way, this whole new model of how you organize an argument in the 21st century has been a game-changing play for Barack Obama. Certainly the Republicans are way behind, and I think after this election there's really no going back. Third is the people have changed in America. We're going through one of the most profound demographic changes in our history, perhaps as profound as the arrival of the Europeans here in the 16th and 17th century. The minority population in America has tripled. And what you're seeing tonight is that Barack is going to win with 2-to-1 margins among millennials and Hispanics, the two fastest growing parts of the American electorate in the 21st century. And so what he's building is very much a 21st century coalition. One that, because it's young, because it's with the fast-growing parts of the electorate, could be the basis of a progressive Democratic coalition for the next 20 to 30 years, the way that FDR built a coalition like that in the 1930s. And finally, we are really seeing the rout, the end of the conservative ascendancy. After being the dominant ideological force and political party for the last 30 years of American life, the conservatives are now in retreat. I think they're more discredited and more out of power and more, out of sync with the American people as an ideological movement and political party than really since the 1930s. And so where we end up with tonight is the likely outcome, because of this remarkable campaign run by this remarkable man named Barack Obama, this skinny kid, this biracial kid from Chicago who nobody had ever heard of just a few years ago. Democrats are likely to end up with having won a higher vote share tonight in the presidential than any time since the 1960s. They'll have more ideological control than any time since the 1960s. The conservatives and Republicans will be more discredited since any time since the days of FDR and Truman. And finally, Barack Obama will be winning this election by building a coalition that could be long-lasting and be the basis of a new, durable majority coalition for progressives and Democrats for the next 20, 30 years. This is an exciting day. It's an exciting day for the country. It's an exciting day for those in the center left. And certainly I, for one, am ready for it to be over and for this new day of American politics to begin. Thanks, everybody.